So, a lot of YouTubers lately have been canceling their channel because of these new COPPA regulations. I'm literally getting a lot of videos in my recommendations from people that are deleting their channels. They say that this is going to be their last video, and I'd just like to point out that I don't really have any intention in doing that. For one thing, this whole COPPA scare reminds me a lot of the net neutrality scare, where everyone was like, oh no, the internet's going to die when net neutrality goes away, but I haven't really noticed any difference in the internet since then. So yeah, it's probably just a bit of fear-mongering. By the way, I'm making a replica of the Cape Lookout Lighthouse in North Carolina for my fictional East Coast bullet train route. I'll give you a few examples. During one video that I was watching during the net neutrality scare, the video randomly stopped, and then this message appeared on the screen that said, your internet provider wants you to pay more money to access YouTube. And then the guy made this big speech about how that was likely going to happen when net neutrality went away, but it never did. I don't remember any of us having to pay extra money just to use YouTube. In fact, our internet bill hasn't really changed at all since net neutrality went away. It's still pretty expensive, but like, it's not outlandishly expensive like I was afraid it was gonna be. And even if it does turn out to be true, I've put a lot of time and effort into this channel, and I don't plan on giving it up that easily. So I'll continue to be uploading videos as usual, and if I end up getting sued for $42,000, then, well, I'm just gonna have to get a lawyer. From what I've seen, watching a lot of YouTubers that are lawyers talk about COPPA, I don't really think they have the type of authority that the guy was claiming they did on the press conference. So yeah, I don't really think we should be that afraid of him. It sounds like he's just trying to use scare tactics, which don't really work on me that much. I'm still going to continue uploading videos as usual. This is not my last video. I don't plan on putting all my videos on unlisted or private or wherever, and I don't plan on deleting my channel anytime soon. In any case, it's almost time to texture the tower of the lighthouse. This was actually a lot easier to make a texture for than the Cape Hatteras lighthouse, because it has a much easier texture to paint onto it. The stripes on the Cape Hatteras lighthouse were really difficult. It took me like 7 days just to figure out how to wrap the texture around the cylinder properly. Now, there's already a model of the Cape Lookout Lighthouse on Google 3D Warehouse, but I decided not to use that one because the textures don't look right when the sunlight shines on it, and it doesn't have a doorway. So yeah, this one is going to have an entrance to it as well. And I can see why the person who made the original model didn't put a doorway in it, because it is pretty difficult figuring out how high the door is supposed to be and then creating the stairway that leads to it. But sometimes that is required when making a model of something. Now, the patterns on the side of this lighthouse have meaning behind them. The black stripes are facing north and south, so if you're perfectly aligned with them, you're either facing north or south. The white diamonds are facing west and east, so if you're aligned with them, then you're either facing west or east. It can help a lot with navigation, I'm guessing. The stripes on the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse are like that too. The black stripes at the bottom of the lighthouse are on the north and south sides, and the white stripes are on the west and east. This is a ruler that'll help me figure out where the door is supposed to go. I know from looking at photos that the door is located on one of the white diamonds on the bottom, directly under one of the windows. It should be on this side then. So here's the door. The door is elevated with a stairway that leads to it. I'm guessing the reason it's set up like that is because the lighthouse is located on a very sandy island, so wind can probably cause the sand to pile up at the door and cause it to get buried. So on this lighthouse, the door is elevated. Now, most of North Carolina's other lighthouses have a base at the bottom that rests on top of the foundation, but the Cape Lookout Lighthouse does not. It simply rests directly on top of the foundation, with no base on underneath it. Why that's the case is not really known to me. It was not created by the same guy that created the Cape Hatteras, Bodie Island, and Currituck Beach lighthouses. And now we have a doorway. I'll probably be working on the walkway that leads to the door in a later video. Alright, this is the platform that goes directly in front of the door. It is required for you to be able to walk up to the door after all. The rest of this platform is probably going to be really difficult for me to build, because I have to somehow figure out the angle at which the stairway is set up. And this is usually pretty difficult for me. And here we have the first portion of the stairway. It's a ramp instead of a stairway because that would have been a bit too difficult to build and it would have taken way too long. Well, that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching.